Everybody's so excited about talking in person that it's hard to stop. But I do want to introduce our speaker today. We're really fortunate to have the 1st Infantry Division Command Sergeant Major, Raymond S. Harris. I am not going to give you a lot of detail. Sergeant Major, you have to tell us 3 things about you that nobody knows. Nobody in the room is aware of.
It's easy. I'm awesome.
But we know that.
I'm more awesome.
We know that.
And I'm the awesomest. Any questions? That's pretty easy peasy right there. Yeah. You can't be Danger 7 and not be the most awesomest on the planet. It's just how it is.
Does the CG say that?
He does. He does. That's our both.
You're more awesome than he is.
It depends who's here and who's not here.
Okay. Thank you for being here.
No, thank you. Thank you very much. One, thanks for having me again. Thanks for asking me to come down here and talk. And what we're going to talk today about for a few minutes is the Big Red 1 Year of Honor that we started last month, which will go on through the end of the year. But before we do that, what I want to be able to do is, if you weren't able to see this on our social media pages, I want to show you the video that we launched that kind of gives the explanation and how we view our Big Red 1 Year of Honor. And so you can find this on all of them, and I'll just let Colonel Brown hit play. Hopefully this works.
For more than 100 years, we've been brave, responsible, and on point for our nation. We've battled in our country's deadliest wars, and whenever our nation called, we answered. In 2021, we celebrate a shared legacy. We celebrate the Big Red 1 Year of Honor. A year-long celebration to honor the 37 selfless Americans who earned the Medal of Honor while serving with the Big Red 1. This is a year to reflect on what it means to live a life of honor, and a year to permanently memorialize the Big Red 1's legacy on Fort Riley. This year, we enhance esprit de corps, foster leader development, while celebrating our past and looking forward to our future. This is the year we honor the best in each of us. This is the Big Red 1 Year of Honor.
Along with the Garrison's PAO team, put this together. And personally, if this doesn't fire you up, I don't know. I mean, this is just awesome. The legacy that this division has and the pride behind this patch, that I get to put in stereo on both sides, is just complimentary of what this division is and what we've done over the 100+ years of being America's first division. So to talk about the Big Red 1 Year of Honor, this kind of spawned as we talked about our Operation Victory Wellness and getting to know our past and link in with our history. The CG brought up and wanted to say, how do we do that with what we have and the history we have? So we have 37 Medal of Honor recipients that we are going to recognize throughout the year. And this starts in February because in January we did not have a single Medal of Honor recipient. And so from February until December, we are going to recognize those 37 Medal of Honor recipients. We kicked this off on 16 February with our first one, and our special guest for that one, if you got to see it on the internet and all the social media sites, was Staff Sergeant David Bellavia. He is our only living Medal of Honor recipient in the division that we have. And it was truly an honor to have him down here and have him share his story, how he overcame adversity and really pushed through it without thought process to ensure that his soldiers stayed alive. So his LPDs were very impactful and very powerful. At the end, we finished it off with a social. But But the important part about that, and we'll talk about in one of the things, is that we renamed 4 streets after 4 of the Medal of Honor recipients that earned that award in the month of February. And so what this is really designed to do, the Big Red 1 Year of Honor, is, you heard it on the video, it's about building leader development. It's about connecting with our past. It's about building esprit de corps and unit cohesion. So our soldiers can understand where they came from and the legacy, that was born on this division. And so, as we kicked it off, we started thinking, what else can we do? And so spawned our 4 kind of main tenets of what the Big Red 1 Year of Honor is. And the first one's remember. And so remember is kind of exactly what I described. We're going to remember our 37 Medal of Honor recipients, and we're going to ensure that they are memorialized on the installation, which is another one of our line of efforts. And so by doing that, we will hold our LPDs through our Educate line of effort. And our LPDs are going to be held by those that lived a life of honor, those that lived a life of service, and our community partners. Because it's important to us to understand that living a life of honor could be valorous, it could be victorious, and it could be a virtue. So whether it's our food banks, whether it's our community partners that give back to the soldiers and families of the division on a regular basis, whether it's sports coaches that can help teach what team really is and how do you get to the state of victory, that our collegiate and our professional teams aspire to on a daily basis, and how do we bring that into the Army, to really understand that. And so that's kind of the remember and educate part. And so by doing that, we're going to preserve, and through our preserve line of effort, we are renaming 37 streets on the installation after Medal of Honor recipients, and a few more after those that lived a service of honor, a service of victory, a service of virtue, that really exemplify what the division is. And if you've been on the installation lately with the 4 streets that we did, which is actually a total of 25 signs that we changed down on the division with our 4 Medal of Honor recipients, they're blue, so it's totally different. You can see it from a way far away. It's a blue sign, has the Medal of Honor insignia on it, and it has that recipient's name. And I just think that's really powerful and impactful as our soldiers and our families and those that visit the installation run around or drive around or whatever you're doing to say, well, what does that mean? And it sparks discussion. And so by the remembering too, we are doing that month, the day that we do it, we will do a division level PT session, and it'll be distributed, right? We're in COVID, so we can't have everybody come together on a PT field and knock it out. But for those that are familiar with the workout of the day, we're developing workouts that will mirror and mimic what that recipient did to earn the Medal of Honor. And so those squads, those platoons, those companies will develop that program, and they will destroy themselves in PT like they should, because the person that they're honoring did a lot for their country in this division. And that's kind of how we get after part of that, the preserving line of effort. The last line of effort we have is communicate. And so the communicate is through our Facebook, our social media, exportable LPDs that we will get out there. We had a little tough time on the first one on the 16th getting some things out as we ramped into it. But we have a great way now to link our teams with Divids, with Facebook, with Zoom, and all these other things. So as we do these LPDs, we'll be able to expand it out more so everybody can kind of get on the link and listen and be part of that conversation, vice us having to share it later on to do it. The other part about that is that we just continue to talk about it. It has to be part of our daily life, and the things that we do as our soldiers and our leaders hold their daily formations, and we talk about that month of honor. And so you'll see that as it goes around in the division. It'll be on our marquees, on everything we do. We change all the computer screens, to that Medal of Honor winner for the day when we host that thing, so it's always up front in your face. And I think we have to do that. We have to get our soldiers, we have to get our leaders, we have to get our family members to understand what this division represents. It's not just the current representation of what it is. It's what we've done for over 100 plus years. And so the Big Red 1 Year of Honor means a lot to us, as I know it does, to everybody in this room. We will, like I said, every month we will do, and our next one is 22 March. 16 March, I apologize, that's 6 days off. 16 March is when we're going to do our next one. And for this next one, we have some great folks coming in for it. Some will be virtual, some will be live. We have the K-State baseball, basketball coach coming in. We have Pete Carroll from the Seattle Seahawks that's going to pipe in virtually. And we have the female running back coach from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is going to pipe in and talk to us about it all, and talk to us about, honor and teamwork. And so as we do these things, all these events are going to hit lines of effort of how we build team, how we build esprit de corps, how we build unity, how we build ourselves as leaders to better understand our soldiers and continue to lead this division, in the right path to greater heights and really honor those that came before us. So, like I was telling Janet earlier, Big Red 1 Year of Honor, there's not a lot more I can say about it except it's going to be great. And when you win, and if you could be a part of it, please be a part of it. It'll be phenomenal. We all know that, with COVID going on, we can only have so many people in person doing things, but we will make sure we get links out so everybody can participate in what we're doing, because it's going to be awesome. June this year, we're going to hold Victory Week, right? So we canceled it last year. June this year, we're going to hold Victory Week. And Victory Week is going to be centered around the Big Red 1 Year of Honor, right? And so all of our events, all of our LPDs and panels will be amongst that. We're also going to recognize, Operation Desert Storm. I think that's vital that we do that. It's very, very, very important. So what a year for us to be able to recognize those that fought 30 years ago in Operation Desert Storm that were part of this division. 22 1ID Big Red 1 soldiers that fought in Desert Storm are currently still here, right? There's 6 more that are in the local area that didn't fight with the division, but we're going to recognize them too, because veterans. That's what we do, right? We recognize our own and we take care of our own. Soldier for life. And again, once a Big Red 1 soldier, always a Big Red 1 soldier. So we'll finish up with Victory Week. We'll get that done, and then later on the year, we still have it planned to do a culminating celebration of like a dining out, dining in type social at the end of the year, November, December timeframe. We'll see kind of where we're at, with COVID and what that looks like. But we want to be able to do that and bring people back together and do a culminating event for our Big Red 1 Year of Honor. And then that'll be it, and we'll move on. But we want to be able to do this to continue to bake it in, right? Bake it in our leader development, bake it in our fiber, that when you come here, you know why you're here. You know who you represent, and you represent those that came before us 100 plus years ago that formed and made this division. So, are there any questions about the Big Red 1 Year of Honor? All right. Appreciate it. Thanks for keeping it easy for me. The boss is up here. You guys are like, hey, sure, girl. So, a couple other points that I know it's probably on folks' minds is, we relaxed some standards, or not relaxed, we reduced some COVID mitigation measures on Fort Riley to get our folks back out to the community. And we all know it's a much needed thing. Like Janet said earlier, we all just need to help each other with it to make sure that we can continue that. Okay, that's kind of important and imperative for both sides. It's about our mental well-being of every soldier and every family member on the installation to get back out into the community. And we really want to be able to maintain that. And so any help will be grateful, and so we just really appreciate that. Let's see, we got some deployments coming up, right? Deployments. Everybody that's been around this division knows that this is a busy, busy division. And even though we have slowed down, we still have folks ramping up to go out. So we have a battalion from CAB 16 HARS is currently in Korea. And they're executing their mission with PACOM on the Korean Peninsula. First CAB has already launched a couple main bodies out to Yukon in support of Operation Atlantic Resolve. And so the rest of the CAB headquarters and the rest of the brigade will be over in Yukon. The division is preparing to go back to Yukon for an MCE in spring-summer time frame to assume that mission like we did for darn near 27 months, not but about less than a year ago, and we're going to do that again. And 1st Brigade with Sergeant Major Jackson and his team is ramping up to go to Yukon and support Operation Atlantic Resolve in the spring-summer time frame. So with all those units that I just mentioned are leaving, you can understand and probably see what it's going to do to the capacity of the installation and what we're going to have left on there. All right, and it will give some space, but being able to have our soldier families get out is just going to help even more exponentially as those family members, are kind of left behind while we take care of them and really relying and for the community to help take care of them also, which I know you will. Like I said, when I first got here, this is like a home away from home. This community is so phenomenal on what you all do, for our soldiers and families. It's like nothing I've ever seen in 25 years of service. And I can say 25 now because I hit 25 years this month, so awesome. Yeah, I had to put my own plug out there. But with that, are there any questions, anything I can answer about the division, anything I talked about or whatever? And then I know Colonel Brown would be like, oh, don't talk about that. So, I'm here to answer anything. And if not, it's okay, you can go back to eating. Yes, Dick.
How's retention doing through this pandemic?
Sure. So retention, oddly, I'm going to say oddly enough, is really good. And so we were number 2 in Force Com last year for FY20, which I wasn't happy about because I don't like to lose at anything. But we were only under by about 1.5%. This year, for this FY, we're already about 90% on our glide path to meet and exceed mission requirements. And that's for both. That's for staying in, that's transferring to, another compo, whether it's guard or reserve. But the Army's retention has been really good through COVID and coming out of COVID. That's for sure. And I think it's, part of it's a safety net, but I think what we were able to show during COVID, our leaders and the care we gave to the soldiers, changed a little bit of mindset and culture about what the Army really is. Even though we couldn't do a lot of stuff, leaders were overly engaged with soldiers, right? Overly showed care, overly showed compassion, and still training held to account. So, thanks, Dick. Anybody else?
Hey, sir, Ray,
All right.
you mentioned we had the Career Counselor of the Year retention.
Yeah, great, thanks. And that's a great point, Tony. I appreciate that. We did Fort Riley 1ID. We had the Force Com Reserve Career Counselor of the Year winner came out of the division. So, Sergeant First Class Smith, phenomenal non-commissioned officer. So she won that for the Army, brought the title home to 1ID for that, and we'll continue to do that. We sent soldiers out to the Best Medic competition. They fared very well, top 5 for that, which is very hard. And we're going to get ready to ramp up in April for the Best Ranger competition, Best Sniper competition, and Best Mortar competition. So Infantry Week's back on at Fort Benning, so that's great for an infantryman to be able to send soldiers down there and represent the Big Red One. All right. Oh, hold on, Craig. Hey, Craig's here. I got caught.
Last week about that pilot that you're doing. Can you talk about that at all?
Yeah, so this week we started, so I'll preface, I'll talk what I can because Walter Reed, Army Institute of Research is very protective of what the things that they do and what we do. But anyway, the premise of it is that we're developing a squad leader development course for the Army, not us personally, but we're piloting that this week. So 300 squad leaders throughout the division are going to go through a 2-day course, different times throughout the week. And what it's meant to do is it's meant to talk and discuss leadership theory to our squad leaders. So on any given day, we talk and we can train, this is how you lead a fire team. This is how you execute X. This is how you lead a section of squad. But what they don't understand is how they get to do that by means of, the human dimension, understanding the psychology behind it to motivate a soldier, to inspire a soldier, to influence a soldier, to really want to be part of the buy-in and to commit to what they're doing. And so this program is going to help them kind of develop, even though, us as squad leaders, we don't have leadership philosophies, but it's meant to develop a leadership philosophy for them to how they're going to lead their squad throughout their 10 years of squad by those tenets that I just said earlier. And so they go through, it's a 2-day session. We have a couple of those throughout, and then some surveys that the Walter Reed Army Institute of Research is doing to determine where they need to make changes. Where do we implement it at? Is it in PME through TRADOC and institutional domain? Does the division own it? So on and so forth. We're also piloting what's called the First Sergeant Talent Alignment and Assessment program. So the end of March, we'll bring in 30 First Sergeants, and they're going to go through about a 3-day process to kind of rack and stack Master Sergeant, Sergeant First Class promotables throughout the division to align against billets that folks like Sergeant Major Jackson need against their knowledge, skills, and behaviors. So that way we can really share that across the board, the entire division and installation, to put the right leader at the right time in the right place when they're needed. And so a couple of initiatives that the Army has us piloting in the next 30, 45 days. And so it's been really good. I just sat down with the Squad Leader Development Course folks today. Great feedback. The soldiers are loving it because now they get to understand, okay, this is what it really means to be a leader. We always talk about those things on our channels, but this helps just develop the brain housing group of being a leader, if you will. So, thanks, Greg. All right. Well, thanks everybody for listening. I really appreciate it. I'll try to talk as prolific as I can about it. The boss is really passionate about this, and it probably would have been better, but no, I'm just messing. But I appreciate you all having me out here, and I'll tell them that I did better than him anyway. And they asked me the hard questions. They plan on just throwing softballs to you, and I'll keep telling them the deal. So
As it should be.
darn
And
right.
because you're the most awesome, we appreciate it. We've got a very awesome
Thank you very
coin for
much.
you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you very
I
much
appreciate it.
for the update.
This is great. Thank you very much. Thank you, Jim.
So thank you all for coming. Thank you very much to Briggs Auto for sponsoring us and providing the taser for the drawing. So real quick, our next meeting, the April lunch, is going to be on the 7th over at the Hilton Garden Inn. So invitations will be coming out, but please put it on your calendar. And our guest speaker then is going to be the Governor's Military Council representative, Lieutenant General retired Perry Wiggins. So you guys put that on your calendar. We look forward to seeing you in April, and go out and enjoy this great day. Thank you guys for coming. Before I say scatter, does anybody have anything for the group? No. Thank you again. Go enjoy your day.